Hi, today I'm going to review UpHabit with you. UpHabit is one of the most popular personal CRMs out there. In fact, the team building UpHabit is the biggest team working on a personal CRM right now. The team is based in Canada and the company has been founded by a guy called Neil, who is a serial entrepreneur and I guess is building this app for himself. They have done a great job on marketing. In fact, if you search for personal CRM on Twitter, you can only find tweets about them. They're everywhere. And I'll review the app with you, show you what's great, what's bad, so that you can decide for yourself. Let's get started. So I'm signing up. Okay, connecting my email data. The first thing that I notice, and that is totally worrying, is the kind of data access they require. They actually access, so it's written in French, but what they're asking for is to read all my email data. That's a big deal. I mean, I'll do it for this test, but I'm super worried about sharing my email data with anyone, especially the email content. That's really, everything I say to all the people in my network. I understand why they're using it. They basically look for emails from LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter in order to, these emails usually contain stuff like, oh, here are 5 people you need to reconnect with, or these people have their birthday, do something. And so they're analyzing those emails in order to find out who is a contact of yours. And while this might sound smart, I actually find it to be pretty intrusive and a bit scary to know that they're looking through my emails in order to find some data. So I'll delete my account after this test, but just thought I'd share this. Okay, I'm finally in the app. First impression, the general user experience is pretty clunky. There is tons of text popping up everywhere. I'm not sure what to do next. I keep on tapping the next, I'm ready, okay button, nothing changes. And given all the data that they're using, they're accessing my Google Contacts, my email, and my calendar data, and now they're reading my LinkedIn and Twitter emails, I would expect their contact recommendations to be much better. But if I actually have a look at the contacts they're recommending, I just see all my contacts from A to Z, instead of maybe they could have taken, actual real contacts based on who I talk to most. So this is actually not accurate at all. And I don't feel like scrolling through my 800 contacts to find out who I need to add to their app. Okay, so they do have a timelines feature where I can see all my past interactions, but they don't take into account interactions that happened before I imported my contact into UpHabit, which is not great in my opinion. One thing they seem to be pretty good at is this contact enrichment. So for a contact where I just have an email, they will figure out the LinkedIn or Twitter account. That's pretty neat. Again, the buttons are super small, and also they show me all the data for which they don't have their social media links, which is a bit sad, but I guess that's the game. Anyway, I will add this contact as a relationship. What happens now? I guess the next step is to set a reminder, which I will do. Okay, and now that I've set a reminder, basically every 3 weeks they will ping me that I need to reach out to Alex because, well, I've set up the reminder. That's okay. A bit disappointing again in the sense that I would like them to look at my data and figure out if I have actually reached out to Alex. Let's say, for example, that in 3 weeks I actually reached out to Alex, and then the day after this they actually send me a notification, hey, you need to reach out to Alex, even though I actually just did. Okay, one interesting thing they have is this introduction feature. So the idea here is, if you're a super connector and you really have a big network, usually what you tend to do is you will find opportunities within your network. So let's say you might find someone who really needs to hire a software developer, and you know a software developer who really needs a job. In that case, you would just introduce those two people and let them figure it out. And so what UpHabit does is they make it super simple for you to do this. They have a template that you can use. They actually have different templates. And then you just add the two contacts and they will draft an email, and then you just have to do some edits, and that's it, you can send the email. Okay, so to review, there is a tab where you import your relationships, where you decide who you care about. Already there, I would say I don't like it, just because the time required to go through this list, especially given how poorly optimized it is, in the sense that they don't show me the people I interact most with, they just show me all my contacts ranked alphabetically. I already don't like this, feels like I will spend a lot of time doing this. Then, after adding a relationship, I need to add a reminder to reach out. Again, let's say I have 400 people I want to stay in touch with. That's a few hours lost again. And then I get all these reminders. There is this calendar feature. I'm not sure. I see why this might be nice. But again, what annoys me is, let's take Alex as an example. If I don't reach back to Alex tomorrow, but I reach back to Alex next week, it's not a deal breaker. This is not it doesn't matter exactly when I reach out. You don't have to notify me 3 weeks and 0 seconds after this. It's just kind of something, well, I have to keep in mind. So kind of this calendar thing where then you're late if you haven't reached out to someone. I'm not sure I like this. And finally, the introductions feature, which is a nice add-on, especially if you introduce a lot of people for the same reasons. You might simply have a template that is pre-built, and you can just use this and introduce tons of people to each other, which might be nice if you're really a super connector. Finally, and that's not something that is in the app, but I had a look at their pricing. So they have a limited free plan and a paying plan, which is actually relatively cheap compared to other personal CRMs, which is worrying in itself. I'm not sure they will be able to get profitable with so low subscriptions. And given how big their team is, that's something to keep in mind, especially since kind of if you're choosing to use a personal CRM, you're really going to invest your time into this. And you want to make sure that personal CRM is around in 5 years, because building your network and maintaining relationships is a long-term game. And you really don't want to invest hours and hours into an app and suddenly discover that it shuts down. So that's the final thing that I would be worried about. But overall, well, they're the biggest team, so we can expect them to move super fast and to build new features. Check them out at UpHabit.com if you're curious. Otherwise, there are many other personal CRM apps you might want to give a try to. Thanks for watching, and see you around. Bye.